Dear student, now I am discussing practical number 4, op-amp as a differentiator.
Just a second.
Op-amp as a differentiator. We have already seen that op-amp can be used to perform the mathematical function. The mathematical function like adder, subtraction, integration, differentiation, hyperbolic function of some parameter, log of some parameter, anti-log, can be performed with the help of the op-amp. In first experiment we have seen op-amp as a adder and subtractors. Second, we have seen the op-amp as a current amplifier. Third, we have seen op-amp as an integrator circuit. Now, fourth practical, we are looking op-amp as a differentiator. The differentiator circuit is very useful in a wave shaping circuit. Wave shaping circuit to detect the high frequency component. It is also used in analog computer and PID, you can say, controller. It is also used in some demodulator circuit also. So let us see the basic differentiator circuit, or it is called ideal differentiator circuit using the op-amp is as shown in figure. This is the input signal Vi, this is your ground, this is your resistors Rf, this is output voltage, this is your C1, and output is nothing but the minus Rf into C1 dVi by dt. See, the output of the differential circuit is given by this equation, minus Rf into C1 dVi by dt. This equation itself tells you the output is proportional to the rate of the change of the input voltage in the time, or you can say output is proportional to the time derivative of the input signal. Output is a differentiation of the input signal. Here this is your time constant of the circuit. So for making a simplification discussion, let us take the time constant of the circuit is 1 second. Then output of the differentiator is given by this equation. It means output is a differentiation of the input signal. This equation says that if I give the input signal is your sine wave, Vm sin omega t, my output will be nothing but your cosine wave. It is nothing but the cosine wave you will get. Now let us see, if your input is your square wave, then what will be your output? If your input is square wave, then what will be your output? Let us see this. This is the equation of the output voltage I am writing. My input is a square wave. I am showing you this. Your input is a square wave. This is your square wave input. This is 0. This is a T by 2. This is your T. This is your maximum amplitude, say A. This is the input. This is your minus, you can say A. Now let us see what is your output waveform. I'll show what is the output waveform. You can see, yes, between these two, between 0 to T by 2, your amplitude is constant. Between 0 to T by 2, your amplitude is constant. So if your amplitude is constant, during this time output is 0. Output is 0. So during this time you can say my output is 0. During this time output is 0. This is 0. Again, from T by 2 T time, your output, because input is constant, its output is 0. But look here, what is happening? At T is equal to 0 time, at T is equal to 0, your input changes from 0 to A. So this is the change. So if the rate of the change of this, rate of the change of the input voltage with time is very large, then output is large. If this is infinite, then output is infinite. Then my output will be here minus dvi dt, means if 0 toward A, so output will be negative at that time according to this equation. So you are negative. Sir, how much? It is very large. Very large means what? V saturated, because this is your changing from 0 to A. This is a fast change. If it is a fast change, it is infinite. For ideal, it is for ideal square wave, this is infinite. The rate of the change of the input voltage at t is equal to 0 is changing from 0 to A. So 0, this is A, this is where the dt is what, with is very small. So this rate of the change of the input is very large at this time, so output will be very large. But in practice, this is not infinite. This rise time is not infinite. It is some finite time. As a result, you are getting some spike like this. You are getting some spike. This is a spike waveform you will get, and then you will get it is 0. This is the time during which it takes some time to go from 0 to A. So it takes certain finite time to go from 0 to A. As a result, you are getting this your spike, you can say. Now why you are getting minus? When, because this is your positive voltage, this is a positive voltage, so output is minus. So this is from minus V set I am showing you. This is your spike I am writing. Now again at t is equal to t by 2 time. So see, again this is the, at this time your input changing from 0 to minus A. Input is at t is equal to t by 2 time, input changing from 0 to minus A. So during this time output will be your negative. This is 0, so your output will be positive. So at this time your output is positive and it will be the positive spike, you can say. And then again at this time, this your output is 0. So you can say during 0 to t by 2 your output is 0, because Vi is constant. Vi is constant, you can say. Between t by 2 to what t time your output is your 0, because input is again constant. Your input is how much constant? Plus A. Your input is output constant? Minus A. So it is what? 0 here. I think you understand. So during these times you can say output is 0. During this time output is 0. Again it will be 0. So when at 0, at t is equal to 0, is amplitude changing from 0 to plus A, so output will be minus saturated. At t by 2 time, it is going from 0 to minus A, input voltage 0 to minus A, so output will be positive. So such kind of the waveform you can see, on your oscilloscope. So spike waveform is obtained. This value is what? Minus saturated voltage. This value is minus saturated voltage. Slightly you are getting like this. Now let us see what is the practical limitation of this circuit. See, the gain of the circuit is nothing but you can say Rf by Xcf. The gain of the circuit is what? You can say Rf by Xcf. See, the gain of the circuit is nothing but you can say RF by XCF. As frequency increases, the reactance decreases. As a result, I should write actually XC1. So, as frequency increases, the reactant decreases. Reactant decreases, the gain increases. So, as frequency increases, gain increases. So, at higher frequency, gain will be very high. So, the circuit will break into oscillation. So, stability of the circuit is reduced at higher frequency. This is the one problem. Stability of the circuit is reduced at the high frequency in this basic, or you can say ideal differentiator. Now, second problem, as the frequency increases, this reactance decreases, reactance of C1 decreases, so input impedance decreases, and as input impedance decreases, the circuit becomes very sensitive to the noise. So the sensitive to the noise and stability problem at a higher frequency we have to overcome somehow. So both the problem will be overcome by connecting the one resistor series in a capacitor, input capacitance C1, and some capacitance you connect parallel to the RF. In basic differentiator circuit, as frequency increases, your gain of the circuit will be increases. At higher frequency, gain will be very large, and so it break into oscillation. Second problem means stability of the circuit is reduced at high frequency. So instability problem arises at high frequency. Second, as frequency increases, the input impedance of this circuit decreases, because as frequency increases, the reactance decreases, input impedance decreases, and circuit becomes very sensitive to the noise at high frequency. The noise and instability problem at high frequency can be overcome by connecting resistor R1 in series with the C1 and capacitor CF connected in parallel with RF. Now what will happen? Look here. So both the problem will be overcome by this circuit. So practically what we have to do, let us see that, so you will get more understanding. Here in this practical, keep your input is a sine wave signal, input is a sine wave. Keep your input voltage 0.5 volt VRMS. Vary the frequency. Note down the output voltage. So here you have to measure the output voltage with the help of AC millivoltmeter. This is you have to connect your AFO. Okay. Find out the value of the gain. Then you find the gain in dB. Then plot the graph. If I plot the graph, then I will draw like this. Plot the graph of frequency of gain in dB versus frequency. You will getting such kind of the graph. This is a frequency FA at which your gain is 0. As frequency increases, You know the gain increases already we have discussed. You will get gain increases after FA, gain increases 20 dB by decade, means every increase in a frequency by decade your gain increases by 20 dB. At FB it is maximum, then when the frequency is more than FB your gain decreases by minus 20 dB per decade. So this is the differentiation start. This is gain limiting frequency. So in practicals you have to vary this FA and note down the gain. You have to plot the graph of, so listen again, in practicals here A4 you keep a sine wave, keep your input voltage 0.5 volt, means this practicals you have to do on a breadboard. You know already this is what pin number 7 12 volt supply, pin number 4 minus 12 volt supply. You have to connect pin number 6 at the output voltage. This is a pin number 2, this is a pin number 3. Let me give the value. In practical you have to design the differentiator circuit, but for your understanding I am telling you, keep this is your 1.5 kilo ohm, this is your 0.01 microfarad, this is your 0.1 microfarad, 160 ohm you keep R1, this is your 120 ohms. Vary the frequency from 10 Hz to 50 kilohertz in a proper step. Note down the corresponding value of the output voltage. Find the value of the gain for each frequency. Plot the graph. Gain in dB versus frequency. You will get such kind of the nature. FA is the frequency at which you get your gain is 0 dB. FB is the what maximum frequency. During this range you can do the get differentiation range. This is your up to this, from FA to FD your gain increases, that already we have discussed. After FB gain is what decreases. So you have to find the experimental value of FA and FE, FA and FB, and you have to verify with your theoretical value. FA is nothing but the 1 upon 2 pi RFC1 and FB is nothing but the 1 upon 2 pi R1C1. In a second part here you have to connect your function generator. Here you have to connect the CRO. Here also CRO channel number 1 you have to keep. Channel number 1 dual trace channel CRO you have to use. This is channel number 2. You apply your sine wave here with the help of function generator. You see that waveform in a channel number 1 CRO, it will be sine wave. You see in your channel number 2 at which is connected at the output, you will get the cosine wave. You have to trace this waveform on a graph paper. Then you apply here the square wave with the help of function generator. You connect here what? You push the button of square wave, you will get here spike wave. If you give your triangle wave, you will get here square wave. So this you have to verify in your practical. Look here, this F and FB you have to calculate, and for the differentiation you should remember this equation. For differentiation you should remember this equation. T should be greater or equal to RFC1. This is a condition to get perfect differentiation, where you have to keep the value of FB should be between FA and FC, where FC is nothing but the unity gain bandwidth of the operation amplifier. So this is the way you have to do the experiment of a op-amp differentiator. Okay.